Hello there, guys, and welcome to from Grey to Greatness. There we go. But Ed here. I'm going to be doing Space Wolves. As I'm sure you've seen a couple of videos out so far, we're all going to be starting a new army, and we're going to be going through the process of how we're going to sort of build it as and when, right? So effectively, I'm going to go through my why I'm taking Space Wolves, the goals, my sort of plan of action, and one of the main reasons why I'm doing this project. So we're going to get onto it right now. So why Space Wolves? First of all, it is my favorite Space Marine faction. I know I say I'm an every main, and I do say that to wind up people because it's funny. But I do love Space Wolves, like the aesthetic, the lore, favorite Primarch, everything like that. They are fantastic, and also there's a lot of potential here for conversions, which is what I've said next, because there's so many little 3D printed bits like Space Wolf storm shields, Space Wolf weaponry, and also there's so many ways to do like frost weapons and rune axes and stuff like that. And it's a good opportunity for freehand. So I've been really working on doing my freehand recently. My Najal has a bit of freehand on it, which I've been working on. It's got the stencil and the outline done, but it's not done yet. So I'm looking forward to showcase that when it's done. Also, best character model potential in the game, because Space Wolves have a million characters, right? Like that's kind of their thing. They do their sagas. They have the 4 sagas in Champions Wrestle and that sort of thing, and characters are very much how they play. And that's why every month I want to be doing a character from description with these amazing character models. But some of them are dated, and I think we can do better. So my first attempt is going to be Najal Stormcaller. The conversion is currently, as it stands, done, and I'll be doing a work in progress or video of him. And the Terminators are built and on their bases, but I haven't finished painting them yet. But I'm going to be doing a showcase video later on to show those, and also opportunity to paint using new techniques. So I really want to be trying out this freehand. I want to be trying to do. There's a new feathering technique. I've seen how people are doing rows. Well, I'll say new. It's not new at all. Everyone's been doing it for ages, which is good. But I've been painting armies in 2 days for the last couple of years. So this is another thing with White Space Wolves, because I can take a lot of time on it, and I can try and get back to my roots as a hobbyist and sort of take a bit of time and do that, and it's going to be nice. So my goals. My aim is 1 unit and 1 character a month. That's it. Obviously, I might just throw in a unit here or there just to bump up the numbers so we can actually get the army done. But that is the main goal. I want to do 1 unit and 1 character a month. Now, that unit and character is going to have hopefully a ton of conversions, at least on the character. If it's minimal on the units, it'll still have a lot of space for theme around it. And I'm going to be using them in an ongoing crusade with some friends. So I've got some friends down in Wolverhampton who's just starting a crusade recently, and it's going to be fantastic. They've got we're trying out the pack. We're trying out a new pack apparently, which I'm not 100% what it is, but I'm excited to find out. And it's going to be very much more of it's a painting project. We're not going in to try and win these things, because who cares about winning a crusade? It's all about the story. It's all about how we build it and how, some cool stories. So I think I'm going to try and give myself a cool little list, and also there's another thing: the characters are going to be on the wrong size bases, guys, because this is for a crusade. I will be pinning them onto their bases so they can go onto normal bases if I want to take them to an event. But these are going to be like, this is like Hero Hammer, so it's going to be like my librarian is on a 50 mil. My Terminator Captain is also on a 50 mil. He's actually meant to be on a 50 mil, but that's the sort of vibe I'm going for. I'm basically making all of the characters into Primaris versions instead. So that goes into my next point, to remake the entire special character range. So I say the entire range, I'm going to be hitting a fair few. So my first one is Najal, because I picked up Najal, and originally I wasn't going to convert these guys up. I was going to do them and paint them and do it, right? Then I saw the Najal model and how small he was and how old he was and how fine cast he was and all that sort of thing. And you know what? Let's just change that entirely. Let's just remake it. So I've got the Primaris Librarian Mini. I've used the staff from Najal, the actual Najal kit, and I've attached it to him. And I want to make one edit with how the shaft is held, because it's got an axe handle at the moment. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of trimming and a little bit of to try and make it look like it makes it a bit more sense there. There's going to be energy coming out of the staff and like around him, like electrical energy, if that makes sense, or psychic energy. And he is on a base with a big skull, and there's some good scenic rocks on there, all that sort of thing. And I'm going to do some snow and some ice, and we'll try and really lean into the whole. They are on a cliffside in the snow. They're either ambushing someone or they are doing something Space Wolfian cool. That's a theory. And the last goal is when these are done and when they are painted, I'll be taking them to a tournament. The list will be called Greater Greatness Space Wolves, and it's not going to be the best, but I will be taking them for over a weekend. It's going to be. I'm hoping to hit it like a nice like little local tournament somewhere, or maybe even one up in Varsity Prestige, which, by the way, our 6 Plus event was there recently, and it was absolutely fantastic. Tom and the lads did an absolute stellar job, and I'm looking forward to going to more up there as well, because it's a great venue and great guys running up the events up there. So those are my goals. So let's move on to the next bit. Reinventing characters. So as I say, we can do better. We can do better. You've got a lot of old characters in this range. And even Ulrich, who's one of the newer models, I'm not a fan of. He's just not dynamic enough. He's not moving in a way that I want a Space Wolf to be moving. So I've got a lot of plans for the characters that I'm going to be doing here, especially on like a slightly larger base. We can show off more of their pose and maybe have one running down a hill or down a cliff face or doing an ambush or something along those lines. So scenic bases are going to be a really big theme here. When I say theme, like the scenic bases are going to sell the theme. It's going to sell the idea of where they are and where they're fighting. Like they are, I don't know, defending a snowy planet because Space Wolves loves the snow because they drink and stuff. And it's going to be lots of like pelts and freehand and all that sort of thing. And that's the sort of energy I'm going for here. So yeah, and all the characters are going to be converted. And I'm going to have an aspect of the old model in there somewhere. Don't know what it's going to be yet, but we'll figure it out. And the timeline. So this is an ish plan, but it's going to be done. So we've got March is Najal Stormcaller and 5 Terminators. These are the Storm Shield. These are like Wolf Guard Terminators. We've got a mix of like weapons in there. We've got some of the Cyclones. We've got some Storm Shields, different poses, all that good stuff. And Najal is going to be the converted guy. April, we are planning to do Canis Wolfborn, but in a slightly different way, with 3 Thunderwolves. And I'm going to add 5 Assault Intercessors that month because we've only got 4 models to do that month. So I'm hoping to add a troops choice in just along the way. And then May, we're going to do Ulrich and 10 Wolf Guard. Ulrich, I've got designs drawn up. I'm not going to show you them because they're embarrassing because I'm a bad actual, I can't draw very well. But the theory is sound, and I've got the models planned out for him, and I've got the base all planned out, and I've got some new materials that I'm going to be doing this guy with, and he's going to be with 10 Wolf Guard. Now these guys are going to be heirloom weapon and storm shield because that's what they are going to be. That's what they're going to be. Because storm shield number 1, it's good, but also it's going to look really good because I've got these blank shields which are effectively like Viking shields, but they are round, and effectively you have the rune in the middle, and then on the outside you have a trim, and then it's just a lovely surface. Just that's it. So that means I can do a hell of a lot of freehand on those, or even try some transfers. But I'm going to try to do focus on the freehand, and I want to be really leaning into like the moon and the stars and how they sort of, because they are wolves, and then some like that wolf iconography and maybe even some forest iconography and all that sort of thing. So I really want to be leaning into that. Then June, we're going to be going to 10 Blood Claws and Ragnar. This is a very nice staple unit. It's a lovely little unit. I will be trying to do the Blood Claws in a Primaris way because I think the Blood Claw models at the moment are a bit dated. They're a bit small. So because again, this is for a crusade, I'm going to make them look super cool. So they're effectively probably going to look more like Assault Intercessors, but they're going to be extremely like Space Wolfy. Like the Assault Intercessors at the top are going to have helmets, and then some freehand slash like a what's it called, a transfer, and that's basically it. But the Blood Claws are going to be all of it, and I've found some really nice little 3D printed bits to add on top to really sell that look. And then I've got Ragnar. Ragnar, his model's fantastic. He's dynamic. He's running around. I really, really like him. So I'm actually not going to do much with Ragnar. The one thing I'm going to be doing though is he's going to be on a scenic base. So that's going to be exciting for you guys to see. I might do a slight repose as well, but just so that I'm going to try and have both of his hands on his weapon. Similar look to Gabriel Seth. So that's the sort of thing I'm going for, like the double-handed chainsword. But I've got designs drawn up for that as well, but we'll see how that goes when we get there. Next is going to be July. We've got Logan Grimnar and 5 Combat Terminators. Logan Grimnar is dated, as we all know. He's an old model, bless him. But he's also a very cool model and a very cool, theory behind it. Now, I've been getting really into my green stuff sculpting. So I've sculpted the beard and the hair on my Najal, because that librarian doesn't come with any, and I didn't want to have to replace the head because I actually quite like the head as it stands. I just needed a bit of like fur, effectively. So what I'm going to be doing with Logan is I'm going to be getting the captain model from this starter set, and I'm going to be finding some 3D printed bits like an axe or something cool, and I'm going to give him a really, really nice base. And he's also going to be with 5 combat terminators. It's going to be 2 units of 5 Wolf Guard running around. And they're also going to, but these guys are going to be his personal guard. So these guys are going to just be like literally. My plan for these is they're going to be the Terminator models, the new ones, and they're going to have some Space Wolf bits on them. I basically make Primaris Space Wolf Terminators, and I want these guys to be littered, and Logan to be littered in freehand, whether it's like a trim going around the shoulder pads, or on the shoulder pads itself, focus on the freehand shoulder pads, and rather than doing the highlights and stuff, do that. And I'm going to be converting Logan Grimnar from these model from that model, doing some sculpting with his beard, making it make sense. Even maybe get a Dremel to carve in some lovely little runes and stuff. There's lots of ideas running around in my head, so I'm going to be doing that. And then August, there's going to be 10 Wolfen and a converted Wolfen captain. So the Wolfen captain is obviously doesn't exist, as we all know. So there's not really a feral captain running around. But I think it's going to look really cool, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to be using him as a grav captain in the Crusade. Already got it approved because it's going to be cool. It's going to be baller, so they're going to be great. And these 10 Wolfen are going to be like split into 2 to 5. And I want these guys to have like a mix of the claws and Thunderhammers and stuff like that. And I'm going to sort of redo the Thunderhammers to an extent. I think they're a bit small, so I'm going to like there's going to be some reposing. There's going to be maybe some kit bashing in between, and we're going to try and make those look pimp. So that's like the first 6 months laid out as a theory, and we're going to see how it goes from there. And stuff to look forward to. I'll be doing a video on my 5 seconds in Najal when they are complete. So along with a short tutorial video, a short tutorial on how I do the ice bases. Anything else you guys want to know? How I'm painting something, or more detail on something, drop me a comment, because I'm more than happy to make these videos. I'm leaning a lot more into my hobby recently, because a lot of my 40k has been done for the Team England guys at the moment. So I'm got a bit of time to do more hobby, which is nice. And lastly, any suggestions for additions to a month? So let's say, for instance, you like, I don't know, there's a specific character that you really like, and you really want to act like, you want me to do him, and you want me to do a converted version of him and make it see how it looks like. Totally drop it in the suggestions below. Totally drop it in the comments below, and I will see if I can do it. Because if I can, then I will. Because also we were doing this for us, but we're also doing it for you guys. Because I think it's going to be great to watch us sort of how we approach this sort of thing. And now I'm going to be going on to a quick video on my Najal and Terminators, and then we're going to call it a day. And this is going to be a work in progress so far, so they are not finished, but you guys can get a feel for how they look. So thank you guys very much. Enjoy the last bit of the video, and I'll see you next time. And here we are. This is Najal. He is finished. The Terminators are next. These are the few still shots I've got. I've managed to get the snow on the cape and building into the armor around. Quite happy with this, is the way it came out. Then we've got a nice little rotary video for you in a second that you can have a look at. I was really happy with how this guy came out. It took me a while to do the freehand. It took me a while to do the snow. Well, I'll say the snow didn't take a while, but it worked on the cloak and stuff. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. This guy was a dream to paint, and I'm looking forward to do the Wolf Guard Terminators with him and all the future projects for Grey to Greatness. So, yeah, have a good one all. Bye.